Hello, 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 y'all. A good time zone to everyone, and hopefully you remember to turn back your clocks if you live with daylight savings time. We are back with a track mode. If this is your first time in, welcome. Lady Arcaders is an all-women's gaming collective. We welcome all women in gaming, speedrunners, developers, and casual fans alike. In addition to our cozy private community, we run weekly showcases on our Twitch channel, as well as larger charity events throughout the year. This is a track mode, which is a series of the small events throughout the year. Tune in every Thursday night at 9 p.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern to catch awesome ladies showing off awesome games. Did you know that we have a newsletter? If you want to read articles written by our members, keep up to date with our events, and find out what our community is doing, visit ladyarcaders.com/newsletter or type !newsletter in chat for a quick link. Now, while we may be just outside of the Halloween season, some of us, like myself, are not ready to move on. So, we have LinearC, who is going to be continuing her tradition of horror games with a run of Clock Tower 3, normal any percent, and we have the fantastic Miss Scarlett Tanager on comms. Why don't you take it away, ladies?
Hey everyone, LinearC here, back again with another horror game. I guess I'm becoming a bit of a horror speedrunner. I don't know, we shall see after this playthrough today. I'm going to be playing Clock Tower 3, normal any percent. And if my lovely comms would like to introduce themselves, go right ahead.
Hello, my name is Miss Scarlett Tanager, and y'all may know me as also being somewhat of a horror connoisseur myself. I speedrun this game. I did it for Fright Fatales about a week ago, and I'm going to have all kinds of fun times sitting back, drinking tea, and watching you play it instead.
Sounds fun. So, without further ado, I'm going to give this game a try. It's been about 20 years since I picked up this game, and I have fond memories of it back in my good old days in high school, so we're going to give it a go. So I'm going to go ahead and hit new game, and when we get control of our main character, Alyssa, we'll start the timer. So I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so Miss Scarlett, if you don't mind helping to fill in some gaps, because we're going to be skipping a lot of scenes and such, that would be very helpful, because it's kind of crazy and confusing if you have no clue what's going on.
So you want me to tell you what we just skipped?
If you think it would be helpful.
So we are playing as Alyssa. She is technically she's still 14 for most of the game. Little girl who was sent off to boarding school by her mother. Then her mother sent her a letter saying, under no circumstances should you come home before your 15th birthday has passed. And then Alyssa got a phone call from her mother, went to go answer the phone, and by the time she got to the phone, there was no one on the line. So of course she immediately ignores what her mother says and goes home.
Of course. Like any other old typical 14, 15-year-old. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but today is her 15th birthday, or at least I think it is. I can't remember if it's the 15th birthday at the beginning of the game, or if it's just at the end of the game that she goes into 15. I can't remember which.
I think it's at the end, so we go through a lot of stuff before we actually hit her 15th birthday.
Yeah. I just can't remember if like the end of the game is midnight on the 15th birthday or midnight into the 15th birthday.
Yeah.
The game's confusing a bit on that. But yes, we're just trying to find I keep saying grandmama. Keep trying to find her mother, Nancy. But we don't know where she is. You want me to explain what just happened in that cutscene?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. So in the cutscene there, she was like, "Oh, here's a picture of my grandfather and my mother." And then all of a sudden, a bunch of piano started playing, and she got yeeted over to World War II during the Blitz. Like you do. We're now
As
we're
is
now in
tradition.
London during
As
the
is
Blitz.
tradition.
Yeah, as is tradition, we're now in World War II during the Blitz, and shenanigans are happening, aka ghosts, because we like ghosties here.
So we get our first cutscene of one of the first ghosts you encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And they want back their ring. So I will add, so since this is any percent, like normally you go to this game and for a full 100% you're supposed to give them like items and things of that nature to send them off and to heal them, but we're not going to be doing that. So I'm just going to give this first ghost its item, and it's going to drop a sigil stone, which will protect me from one hit.
One death blow.
One death blow. That's correct. And I don't have to do this, but...
Well, you sort of do, in order to make sure you have enough for later.
I do that because there's been so many times where I'll be like, I don't need it. And then I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, no, you always refill there because it feels like a waste. Because you still have 2 holy waters, but you really do need 3 for the entire section in the house coming up here. Because you need 1 for that door, you need 1 to open up the house, and then you need 1 to open up the room in the house.
Yeah, so we're skipping this ghost since we're doing any percent.
Yeah, some of the ghosts are required. Most of the ghosts are not. So if it's not a required ghost, you generally, of course, wouldn't do it in any percent, even though some of the rewards can be helpful.
Okay, so I did this for myself. I go over here and I grab this. There's a lavender water. Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a second to be like, where is she going?
I told you there's some things I know you probably don't do, but I do because I have the worst luck. And we'll talk about it more, but she'll go into panic and I really need it. So I take the few extra seconds to grab it. I grab this one too.
I forget that one's even there. I always forget that's actually a lavender water.
Yeah, I skipped it so many times, and then one day I'm like, I wonder what that is, and so...
Yeah, because in the speedrun there are some lavender waters that you don't have to go that far out of your way to get. But ones like those 2 right there, you usually don't pick up unless you're newer to the run, which it's always okay to pick up things when you're learning a run. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, and I literally like picked this up, y'all, like 3 weeks ago, so I've accomplished a lot. So, yeah, but I'm really enjoying this game.
Yeah, and this game is notorious for Alyssa being a little bit finicky to control.
Yeah, just a tad.
When you're going through, it has that thing where it's 3D controls, so it's not tank controls. However, it's still fixed camera. So sometimes when you're going through a camera transition, she just decides to go in a different direction.
That is such a pain to like relearn when you're, used to playing more modern games and you have to relearn the camera.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain what's going to happen here while you do it?
Yes, please.
Cool. So this is the stalker chase. Or subordinate chase. Essentially, what happens here is you're currently being chased by the subordinate, or the stalker. This one is the first one, Sledgehammer. He's the easiest of the 4 or 5. But okay, you're taking the safe route. Okay, I know what you're doing now. But one of the things that you can do is one thing that you can do is just keep going past the subordinate, or you can try and exit to reset them in order to get to where you're going. So there's 2 ways that you can do it.
Yeah, and I totally made a big mistake there. We got to get this invitation. But that's okay. At least I didn't go all the way there and not have the invitation.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that you would in the I can't speak English right now. In the normal speedrun of this game, what you would do is you would immediately turn around and just run past him. But it is definitely something you need to practice doing and takes a bit to get right. And then this are some of the things you can do. You can either hide from the subordinates if you want to get them to go away, or you can just slam a chair into their face.
Yeah, either one works. So now I'll slam them down for a little bit so we can get out of here.
Yeah. And the whole point of this was to get the invitation in order for us to be able to go to the main area of this first section of the game. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's a music hall. I can't remember what the name of the actual music hall is.
We will be there soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and refill here before we get there.
Yes, it's very important because you're going to need some holy waters, and it's a little bit of a pain to get them once you're inside. I think there's one place inside the theater that you can refill holy water. It's either that or you just can't until you... No, there's one in the front area, I think. I honestly can't remember.
I don't think there is a place. If there is a place, that would have been nice to know, but
Yeah.
I don't think I ever recall seeing a place.
I'm thinking about it now. No, there might not be. Oh, you pick up that lavender water now. That's interesting.
I tend to be extra cautious on things, so yeah.
Yeah, I picked that one up too. I just pick it up a little bit later. So a central conceit of each of the areas in this game, you have specific sections of a time period the list that gets thrown into. And each one of them, save technically the last one, has a core ghost that the whole point of that chapter is to find their special key item in order to soothe that ghost spirit. The one for this area is a little ghost girl named May. Each one of the ghosts, the main ghosts, are victims of the subordinate that's chasing you around the level. So little May was at one point unalived by Sledgehammer. So we have to soothe her spirit in order to defeat Sledgehammer.
And we're gonna skip that scene, but it's a pretty gruesome scene.
This game is really brutal in its cutscenes. Though, funny story, not a lot of people know about this game. One, it was directed by the same dude who directed Battle Royale. And two, it was acted, the mocap was done by a bunch of theater actors. If you've ever been to a play in person or worked in a theater, you know that there's a lot of overt, over-the-top physicality that happens on stage a lot. So if you ever watch the cutscenes of this game, that's why they look so bonkers. Yes, and right there's some specific moments in the game where the subordinate will just leave you. So there's set times when they'll appear, and then there's set times where they'll vanish.
Okay, let's see if I can pull this off.
There you go. Good job. I love getting him stuck on the stairs there. It's so much fun. He doesn't do it every time, but every time he does, it makes me giggle. Okay, so right here, what Linear is doing is, for some reason, every time you open a door or a openable hide point, the stalkers can't actually hit you because that's sort of considered a load screen. So she hit the door with the holy water in order to unlock it, and then opened the locker in order to give the door enough time to unlock so she wouldn't get hit by the subordinate. And this whole section of the game is just trying to find a pair of pliers, which I find kind of funny.
Across a wooden plank of doom.
Yes, the wooden plank of doom.
Alright, so I go here and I pick up the invisibility band.
Yeah. I do this too when I'm doing marathon runs for safety, because when you're doing a run for trying to get, you know, a good PB or something, you generally only pick up two lavender waters and one invisibility band. When you're doing it for a marathon, you're going to be picking up a whole bunch more extra stuff. Just because this game can be a little bit of a wisdom tooth sometimes.
God, he's right on me.
Yeah, I haven't seen him get that on me. Like, he's never gets that on me before.
Yeah, this is my first time having him this close on me.
Hey, that's never happened before. But it's okay. At this point, he leaves for a bit. Just a bit, though.
Just a bit. Alright, please let me get this. Please let me get this. Please. Oh god, he got me anyway. I figured that would happen. Sometimes I get that, and sometimes
So this
I
is
don't.
panic mode. This game doesn't, except for the boss fights, this game doesn't have real health bar. It has the panic meter. The panic meter goes up if the subordinate doesn't attack too close to you, or hits you. If the panic meter goes up all the way, Alyssa enters panic mode. You stop being able to control her very effectively. She starts running around. The screen goes all wibbly wobbly for a while. And if the subordinate hits you at that point, it's an instant game over. She dies. But there's a couple ways that you can get rid of your panic. One of them is to use the lavender water, which you just saw Linear do. Another one is just wait. And a third one is to wait sitting down.
Okay, I need a little bit of concentration, please.
And there's the pliers.
All that.
All
Still
of
gotta
that for
get
a
back
pair of
across.
pliers. Yep.
Oh my god, I saw her at the end there.
That's happened to me before. It looks like you get knocked off there. You don't. You're at that point. You're already past the moment. So the hard part with there, you do the same thing I do. Icdices usually hits him with the holy water there. But about that plank, if she does that wibble wobble thing where it looks like she's gonna fall off. If you hit the any of the the directional buttons or anything, Alyssa can fall off there. And if she falls off, it's an instant game over. So generally what you do there is when she starts to wibble wobble, you just let go of all the buttons and just let her right herself.
Also, can we get some hype in the chat, because y'all don't know how many times I've fallen off that plank. And it didn't happen today, so
It happened today?
I said it didn't happen today, so that makes me very happy.
Did it happen during practice or something?
Nah.
But yes, now we're running all the way back to the toy maker's house from earlier. Because the whole part of the lore and the story is that little May was practicing for a Christmas recital that was going to get played over the radio to the soldiers on the front line. And her father ended up getting sent to the front during the war. Now, her father dies in combat, but she isn't aware of it. So what we're trying to do is go get his pocket watch, which is May's special item. And for some reason, the door that the pocket watch is behind is covered with a bunch of barbed wire, and Alyssa can't take that off by herself for some reason, so she needs a pair of pliers to do it. Yeah, for some reason you can't open the door until after after Sledgehammer has done his Alyssa. You know, you think she could have just pulled those massive nails out of the wall and gone through already, but
I think a
what do
lot
I
of
know?
things in this game, but I just keep them to myself. Sometimes I yell at her. We are almost through this, y'all.
Took a long way around. So in that cutscene, you would have seen how the father died and the father leaving to war, all of that stuff that I just explained. Also a pretty gnarly cutscene.
Indeed. So if y'all are interested, go check it out on YouTube, or maybe if we have time afterwards. But it's pretty gruesome. So
My two favorite cutscenes to show off in this game, to show off just the bonkers cutscenes, is always the one where you meet Dennis, and the one where the house explodes.
oh, when it transforms into
Yeah,
like,
when it
okay.
transforms and Alyssa is for some reason giggling her head off as she's flying on the clock face.
That is such
out
an
of
odd
nowhere.
scene. Like she's flying in the air, and all of a sudden she's like, like,
Yeah,
it's
she's
just
absolutely terrified, and then she just starts giggling. I'm like, what in the world are you doing, Alyssa? Okay, so we're going to be going into the first of the boss fights in this game. Now, the boss fights don't have the panic meter, they have an actual health bar for both you and the subordinate. Essentially, the conceit of the boss fights is you're trying to charge up some special celestial, literal Sailor Moon Magic Girl arrows to tether the bosses to get them in one spot so you can do a ultimate attack on them. Now, there's a couple ways that you can go about this. One of them is primarily done during the boss fight in a regular the final fight during regular speedrun. Most of the time, it's just trying to get them tethered and doing as much damage as possible. There is one actual full magical schoolgirl, like, transformation at the end of the game, though. This one's just like a half Sailor Moon. Hey! So what she did right there is a strategy for the Sledgehammer boss fight where when Alyssa pulls up the bow to aim, she steps back like a half step. So if you just keep mashing triangle, she'll slowly step backwards, and that baits Sledgehammer into his first attack, which lets you do that first tether on him. And then all you have to do is run a little bit back and just tether him until he's done. And once you have enough tethers on him, he gets stuck in one spot, can't move, and you can do the final attack.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I pulled that off. Oh my gosh, thank you.
For those who are watching, I showed her how to do that specific one, like half an hour before we came on here.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
But Sledgehammer is the warm-up boss fight. You can take him out with one ultimate attack. The other ones are a little bit iffier on whether or not you need one or two, depending on how much damage you did to him before you do the attack. But yes, the minimum number of tethers you need to do an ultimate attack on a boss is 3. But for all but one of the fights, you're usually doing a lot more than 3. Just because the way that you would have to get 3 on them, you have to get them at different angles in order to use the ultimate attack with just 3. So now that we have the pocket watch, we're going to give the pocket watch to May, and she's going to say a thank you, and she's going to go off into the sunset heaven place thing with her father. And now we're back in the house.
So that is a really good, funny scene you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. That cutscene is my favorite, the one that we just skipped, because one, it is the best showcase of the absolute bonkers theater-style character acting in the mocap, and also you can actually find that mocap scene online. Like the actual characters in the mocap suit scene of that specific cutscene online. So you can actually see the theater actors doing it.
Alright, so we're going to be doing quite a bit of back and forth, but yeah.
Ah, yes, the totally not suspicious grandpapa.
Not suspicious at all.
Yeah, he's done nothing morally repugnant in his life. Are we allowed to say his name, or are we just gonna keep calling him Grandpa?
I have no idea if we can. I didn't really think about it, but yeah, that guy.
His name is the common nickname for Richard. That is what he's referred to as for the entirety of the game, including in cutscenes by other characters. So if you know, you know.
All right, so we got a little bit of puzzling to do. We'll be on our way.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is get you're trying to make it say 3 o'clock. But each one of the 2 wine keys sends it in a different direction by a different amount. But the solution is just 2 left, 3 right. As it turns out, our mother has a super spooky room hiding behind another door thingy in her room that Alyssa apparently did not know about. There's a lot of that in this house, actually.
This family has a whole lot of secrets going on.
Yeah, and what's funny is you never go into Alyssa's own bedroom.
That's very true.
Now you may be wondering, why did she use all of her holy water? Why isn't she picking up more holy water? It's because the game gives you a free holy water refill during a cutscene in just a bit here. Oh no, the ghosty goose!
So I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get mixed up in here, but we'll be okay.
Oh, I do too. Because it's like 3 cutscenes in a row, but they all put you in a different position in this specific hallway.
So I just needed to trigger it and I know I'm going the right way. Okay.
Oh no, another ghosty goo! So ghosts are spirits of other people that were killed by the subordinate of that area that aren't the main ghost. We already went through that a little bit. Some of them are required to soothe, some of them aren't. They can kill Alyssa. So it's not just the subordinate that proves to be a roadblock.
Yeah,
they can grab her and cause her to panic, and if she panics while they're holding her, then they, I believe, break her back, I think is what the cutscene shows.
I won't deny I've been killed by a ghost before. I'm not ashamed to say, oh, I wasn't playing. We're talking about them. He's not going to kill me, though.
But, the only times during his run that I've ever been killed by the ghost is, during the Rooter puzzle, during Chopper's, muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever been killed by one during a run. Because it's a whole bunch of little ghosties in one specific area with long, narrow corridors.
Exactly.
And you can stun them if they're right in front of you and you need to go past them. You can stun them with the holy water, which is something you'll be seeing more of coming up. The holy water helps you unlock door parts for puzzles, and it also stuns both the subordinates and the ghosts.
I tend to do that if I really don't think I can get past the ghost. I'll just stun them, especially at that part.
Yeah. Generally with the ghosts, as long as you get past them quickly, it's fine. Are you going to do Alyssa Extendo Arms?
Yeah, but there's also, I'm going to pick up this lavender water, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So, Alyssa Extendo Arms is a joke in Clock Tower 2 speedrunning. For some reason, with specific items and specific areas, the radius for Alyssa to pick them up is absolutely massive. So you just saw it there. She was a full like 5-6 feet from that key item and she picked it up anyway. For some reason, it just does that with some key items in this game. We call it Alyssa Extendo Arms. There's an even better one of it later, where she picks up a arrow underneath a staircase while at the top of the staircase.
Believe it or not, sometimes I have a hard time getting that one, but I think I've gotten better at it. The first few times I tried it, yeah.
Yeah, it's knowing where to be on the staircase for it. Like, it's a little bit more of a swag strat, because you need to pick up the arrow, and it is technically like a second or two faster to pick it up with Alyssa's Extendo Arms than to go underneath the stairs to grab it. And it's just funnier. So as you can see, we're back in the house. We're just going to go all the way back to the grandpapa's study in order to get another book that he left there, because not only does Mama have a hidden room in her bedroom, Grandpapa also has a hidden study next to his study. Why? Why?
Lots of shenanigans. Seriously.
Lots of shenanigans. Ah, yes. Do you want me to explain entities? Because it's come up a couple times and I haven't yet.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So the whole conceit, part of the whole conceit of the game's lore is that there are literally, the game describes it as something like teenage girls fighting against darkness. It's straight up Sailor Moon. They're called rooters. R-O-O-D-E-R, unless you're looking at the text in a cutscene where it says R-U-D-E-R. The rooters fight against what are called entities, which are, if you've ever played Dead by Daylight, I'm convinced the people who made Dead by Daylight have played this game, because it's entities, evil spirits, that possess serial killers in order to help them serial kill more in order to get energy from them. It's straight up the entities from Dead by Daylight, with the subordinates being the possessed characters. So an entity possesses a subordinate, and the subordinate goes on a serial killing spree, and the rooters try and stop the subordinates. And Alyssa is a rooter, but she just didn't know it because her mom didn't tell her. And we'll see it later on. I'll probably leave that explanation until later. How a new entity gets made, because we know how a new subordinate gets made. An entity possesses someone and turns them into a serial killer. Soon we'll get to see how an entity is made.
I told y'all it was a lot of backtracking, so now we're going back.
At least in the beginning again. There's much less of it later on once the, spoiler alert, house blows up. Yeah, how many rooms in the house have a hidden room in them? So there's behind the fireplace, that's one. There's one in the grandpa's study. There's one in the mother's bedroom. And technically there's a second one in the grandfather's study if you consider the end of the game. Because it has that bookshelf part that rises up.
Right. There's quite a few.
But that's sort of in the dream house or whatever, so it may not be actually a hidden one in the real house, but I'd like to think it was, because then it would have a secret study for your secret study. So it's like secret study cubed, because you have the main study, then you have the secret study attached to the main study, then you have the secret study attached to the secret study attached to the main study.
It's very complicated.
Who designed this house?
Alright. Why do I get...
The house is confusing.
Yeah.
So this entire section of the game was just to get a photo to tell you to move this obviously crooked painting. Because for some reason, Alyssa didn't think to move the obviously crooked painting to see what was behind the obviously crooked painting.
I blame her so much for a lot of this.
The moon logic in this game sometimes is kind of hilarious to me. Like, that one specifically. Like, she should be able to notice that there's something wrong there. Alright, so now it's time for subordinate number 2. This is Corroder. He likes to throw acid at you. He's kind of rude that way. But he's also the goofiest of the subordinates, in my opinion. Because some of the optional, like, ways to get rid of him, like slamming a bathroom door into his face, are just obnoxious, like, really funny for a horror game.
Okay, I refill here for reasons. In case I miss him around the corner, we'll be okay. It's
That's
just
fair.
safety for me.
Might as well. Safety's safety.
Except sometimes when he does that, it doesn't matter. We're about to go in the door anyway. Go ahead, go ahead. Do what you gotta do. Bye.
So you may think he is gone. However, joke's on you.
Oh god. That was me. I wasn't even ready for it. I mean, I was ready for it, but I don't know why I was thinking he was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Normally I would splash him right there.
Yeah, what you're supposed to do there is that wall, you just stick close to that wall, and the second you hear his laugh, you just immediately hit the holy water button, and Alyssa will hit him with it through the wall.
So that's what's supposed to happen, and that's what I've been doing up until this point. Oh well.
So you know what's funny right there? When he's
What?
doing that laugh in the doorway, you can just run through him and go through the door.
Sometimes I try that, and he still gets me. So
Yeah, you just have to do it fast.
see, there lies the problem.
Now this dodge is just a pain. This one coming up here.
I don't know if I'm just gonna splash him.
I usually splash. Most people usually.
Oh my
splash.
gosh. I was supposed to splash him. Sometimes he's a jerk.
It takes a lot of practice to get when you're supposed to use the holy water there to both hit him when he's through the door. Because if you do it too early or from too far away, the holy water doesn't actually hit him, and then he'll hit you.
That is a big point. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're too close to him, he'll hit you before you can before the animation goes off for the holy water.
That takes a lot of practice, like Miss Scarlett was saying, like knowing kind of like how far you can be away from the enemy for it to actually reach them and not waste the holy water. Really?
Oh?
Really?
I've never seen anybody go that way before. Because one thing you can do there is if you run straight at him is coming through the doorway, you can just hit him with the holy water and go past him. Then you don't get grabbed by the moths. Okay, for some reason when you come to this area, Corroder just leaves. Doesn't want to have to deal with you being shimmying across the ledge.
You would think that would be the prime opportunity to get her.
Yeah,
she's
you'd think.
like that. Okay, these planks don't scare me.
Yeah, thankfully you can't die here even if you fall into the water, you just go back to the beginning. All of these planks is obvious you take the long one. The last one, however, you have to be very careful and get across there as fast as possible or you'll get dropped. Okay, now we have the special item. We have Dorothy. I didn't explain anything about the story in this section. There's a mother and a son. The son is a toy maker, and he made his mother a really pretty shawl, and then their cousin, Corroder, came in and just killed both of them. You don't get the arrow there?
There's an arrow there?
Yes.
What kind?
A green arrow.
I don't. I didn't.
It's okay, it's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late now.
So what you would do in the speedrun normally there is when he shows up, you run directly backwards. There's an arrow at the end of that hallway, and then the second you pick up the arrow, you just start slamming the holy water button. You'll holy water him and you run past.
Well, I'll know that for next time then. Thank you.
Yeah, that's where one of the green arrows you want to get. So there are green arrows and red arrows you can pick up that are specialty arrows that you use in the end game. It's important to pick them up in a specific order so you can use them in a specific order later on. You know, that's probably why when you were practicing, I saw that you had, or that you didn't use it against Scissorman.
Yeah, that would make sense, though.
Yeah, but you still had enough for Boros.
Oh, come on.
Okay. So, when Corroder is... There we go.
Yep.
When Corroder is, attacking you, even if he's thrown the acid at you, as long as you hit him, the acid won't actually damage you. There you go.
I didn't think that would hit me.
Yeah. Essentially, the moment you see him starting to cast like this, you hit him. And it'll stop it from hitting you entirely.
I should have kept going. It's just a little bit tricky for me.
Mm-hmm. See, like that right there. He did the there she is, but he didn't actually throw anything at you because you managed to hit him before he did. There you go. Yeah.
Hopefully this should be enough. Maybe.
Of the boss fights, once you get the strategy for them down, the one that's the biggest wisdom tooth of the speedrun is Corroder here, because he's the only one who has RNG. Like big RNG once you get into the habit of the strategies for the fights.
Yep,
there he goes. So that's the second subordinate. Now that we have Dorothy's shawl, we're gonna go find their ghosty goose and we're gonna give them the shawl.
So that fight wasn't too bad. I mean, considering like I couldn't even beat him at first. Like now I feel like I got his attacks better, but yeah.
Yeah, you're getting better at not being as scared of their attacks. They're not as much of a wisdom tooth as the boss fights in Haunting Ground. Those ones are just mean.
Alright, so we're gonna be skipping the fun one, but this is the one, right? It should be the...
Yeah, this is the one where the house explodes. Yeah, depending on time, we might have time to show it off after the run, as long as you save a clear file. Because the game has a theater where you can watch all of the cutscenes. It's just you have to have saved a clear file to get access to it, I think.
Yeah, we'll be able to see it. Well, yeah, depending on time. So this part is still a little bit tricky for me, so I'm gonna do my best.
It's okay, you got me here, so if you get confused on which floor... Because the most confusing thing in this area is which floor has which thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. So some of what got skipped there is the house exploded and a giant clock tower came out of it. And Alyssa got thrown into a pit and transported to another wibbly-wobbly dimension. This is probably the hardest section of the game. I would say Chopper is a lot harder than the Scissor Twins.
The Scissor Twins
that is Chopper.
section, yeah, it's not bad at all compared to this.
Yeah. Chopper is the third of the subordinates. He is very fast. Not as fast as the Scissor Twins, but he's still very fast, and he hits like a truck. And some of the lore behind him is that he is known as the killer of rooters. So his whole each one of the subordinates has like for lack of a better term, their specialty, the kinds of people they tend to go after. Chopper's whole thing is that he takes out rooters, and Alyssa's a rooter. And by the way, this entire time we've been trying to find our mama. Guess what happened to her? Yeah. You find out during a cutscene later on, which we will be skipping, that the mom, when it got into a car to go head off Alyssa because she guessed that Alyssa was going to disobey her instructions, and got into a car crash caused by Chopper. Though it's not explained whether or not she's actually dead or not, because she keeps coming back to life like 5 or 6 times during the game. So I call her Schrodinger's mom.
Alright,
Like
so
there's one part... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I used the evasion point on this one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because for me it's safety because I'm not good at running past them.
Oh, no, that's totally fair. I used the evasion point when I was learning the run as well. Most people do. I also love the fact that it's jump scare.
I love that little sound.
I love it. I love it so much. So what Linear is going to do here is that there is an evasion point at the end of this hall that just gets rid of Chopper for a while. What you would normally do during the speedrun is that the second you pick up that crowbar, you just start mashing the triangle button to throw holy water in its face and just keep going. Unlike a lot of other stalker horror type games, so the Clock Tower games, Haunting Ground, Remothered, etc., this is probably the only one, or one of the only ones, where it just lets you keep doing puzzles even while you're actively being chased. In games like Haunting Ground, if you're being chased, Fiona will say, I don't have time for this, essentially, if you try to interact with anything puzzle-related. But Alyssa doesn't care. She'll just do all the puzzles while there's a stalker right behind her. Which, for a speedrun, makes it much, much more speedrun friendly. But also is objectively funny to me. I didn't even know this was back here.
Yeah, one day I just got lost.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a sigil. I didn't even know there was a sigil stone back there.
I save on to that one for the end.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's the thing about speedrunning, is when you're a speedrunner, you know the game of a game, you know the game objectively better than most people. However, you know a very specific part of the game objectively better than most people. It's so quiet. I'm used to being chased here. I'm so used to being chased here. So since you chased him off, I might as well explain this. This is something that doesn't normally come up during the speedrun. Because you're just triggering the times of the subordinate attacking you that are mandatory. But there he goes. There's 2 ways that the stalker subordinate can show up. One is a trigger that you cross that summons him. And the second one is timing. The stalkers are, I keep going between stalker and subordinate. They are set on a timer. So I think it depends on the area and the subordinate, but it's somewhere around like a minute or 2 minutes or 30 seconds from when you chase them off and when they started coming after you again. And since in a speed run you never actually try and chase them off, it generally isn't a thing you see very often.
Nope.
Oh, you did it! That is a really hard dodge to get. If you get hit by that axe there, it's almost always an instant panic. So you have to be very, very fast and at the right angle to get to the door before that axe hits you. So now Linear has turned the power back on, or will in a second here. fix the breaker to turn the power back on, has gotten the spectacles that she needed for the other thing. Oh, that's bad.
God.
That's
bad.
bad, RNG.
Yeah, that is. I've never seen him right there like that.
He'll do it. He'll do it. I want to say it happens like 25% of the time, roughly. Every time Chopper...
Come on. Oh, I wasted my sigil stone.
You have 2 of them. It's fine. Well, now you have 1 of them. So... Chopper will always jump you there. He either jumps you from behind or from in front of you. You want him to jump you from behind because it makes it easier to get past him. Now, what you saw just there is Linear went into panic mode. That is when the screen went all wibbly wobbly, and then she got hit by the axe. And you saw something kind of snap. That was the sigil stone. Whenever you're in panic mode and you get hit, it's a death.
Oh my god.
Unless you have a sigil stone, in which case it will instead consume the sigil stone.
Come on. Come on. You can do it, girl. You can do it.
You got this. Just gotta get through the doorway.
Please use it. Thank you. I'm still sad I wasted my sigil stone. We'll be fine now.
You still have 1 more. I believe in you. I believe in you being able to do the extendo arms.
Yay!
There you go! So that's what I meant by Alyssa's extendo arm. She reached through and grabbed that arrow from the base floor. Okay, we're back in the house, right? The house that exploded. Nope, nothing bad's gonna happen. Also, that probably is the most annoying baby crying in gaming, I swear.
I was about to say, that is a sound.
That is a sound. So we're going into a boss fight against Chopper here. Remember how I mentioned that you need to like soothe the ghost and all that jazz? But don't worry about it. We haven't soothed any ghosts. I'm sure we can still take out Chopper, right? I love it when the subordinates taunt you because it makes it so much easier to hit them.
You can't get away. You can't get away.
Oh, joke's on us. Joke's on us. We can't actually take him out because we haven't soothed his main ghost. And now we're back into a big pain in the butt part of the game. So this is where we meet the ghost that we need to soothe, and it's just a big, massive pack of rooters. So we need to find an item to soothe them in order to take out Chopper. This is the safety lavender I always pick up when I'm doing a marathon run of this game.
Alright, so we have a puzzle thing coming up, and while it's pretty straightforward, I'm gonna go pretty quiet to concentrate. Okay, I already went the wrong way.
I was wondering, he's like, are you saving?
No. Hey, when the camera switches like that, I always think it's over here.
Yeah.
Or over there.
This is the right way. Yeah. You can technically do either one first, but it's easier to do this one first. So essentially the whole point of this area is there's 2 little side offshoot areas that you need to get a key item from in order to activate 2 of the headstones in the mausoleum. And this is what I mentioned earlier about the area with a whole bunch of ghosts and a very tight corridors. And you're essentially playing a weird version of a sliding block puzzle game is what I sort of think of it as. Because Alyssa can only have 1 rooter stone in her inventory at a time, and you have to sort of play musical chairs to get the right rooter stones into the right tombstones. despite her having two perfectly good hands.
And pockets, I would assume too.
I don't know. She is a girl. We don't get to have pockets as much as we should.
I was gonna
Especially
say,
in-
if that skirt has pockets, I need that skirt.
I know,
Well,
right?
no, on her
If
jacket.
that skirt has pockets, I need that skirt right now.
A pleated tartan skirt with pockets? Are you kidding me? Like, I have that skirt in a different tartan color. It does not have pockets. Also, an interesting thing to know about the holy water that can screw you up in the second half of this area is anytime you hit the holy water button, which is triangle, Alyssa auto locks onto the nearest thing that's holy water-able. So if it's a ghost, she'll lock onto the ghost immediately. If it's a subordinate, she'll lock onto the subordinate immediately. Problem is, she locks onto a subordinate or a ghost at the expense of puzzle items that need to get holy watered, which can mess you up. See, there's the first ghost that got soothed. And it's by color, so the rooter stones, one's red, one's yellow, one's blue. The yellow one goes to the yellow ghost, red one goes to the red ghost, blue one goes to the blue ghost. You know what would be an absolute pain?
What?
If you could get chased by Chopper here.
Oh, please.
Why would you even say that? Like,
Yeah,
I know you
why?
can't change how the game works at this point in time. Why would you even put that energy out?
I wouldn't even be playing today if that was possible.
I'm
Because
saying no one should be allowing Miss Scarlet Tanager to design a game because you're evil, ma'am.
Funny story, I was making a game in Unity at one point, and then my hard drive died, and I didn't have a backup.
How? That is
Yeah.
not fun.
Yeah, and it was like a side-scroller, like, Hollow Knight type game. I still have all of the artwork and some, like, the little bits of it on my notepad, but I still have the hard drive. Theoretically, if I can get $1,000 to get it forensically, like, taken apart, I might be able to get it back. And there's the last one.
Hooray, we did it. Alright. It's still not over yet. Keep bringing up Chopper.
Now it's time for the hardest part of the game. No pressure.
So, I know you probably don't do it this way, but I do an extra refill before him. Oh, why did I do that? I don't know what I was thinking.
Wait a minute. You refill your holy flask before you activate the portal?
No, that was by mistake. But
Okay.
so there's a portal right before you go to the part with Chopper, and then a portal when you go to that area, and I like to have it activated. So when you leave the scene, you don't have to worry about activating it when he's chasing you. But I always bring an extra water for a couple extra splashes on him. So after I activate this one, I waste my time.
You go back through and go refill?
Yep. Just here. So, just this one. Well, I would need it anyway, but because you need at least two.
Oh,
but...
okay. You don't go through, activate, then go back through?
No. That's what I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. So what you would normally do in the speedrun is you would make refill the holy water in the previous area, so you'd have 5. Go to that portal, activate the portal, go through the portal, activate it on the other side, and you'd only have 1 holy water for the entirety of the next section. And that holy water has to be used for a puzzle section, so you can't actually use it on Chopper when he attacks you, which is what makes the next section of the game so hard.
I also have a hard time. There's these graves that you can squeeze through, I know, but sometimes I get more stuck than anything. But we
When
have
you're
enough.
when you're learning, I'm like, don't bother squeezing through the tombstones.
Yeah.
That's more of advanced tech because you can get stuck on the tombstones and then Chopper can catch you. Because he is faster than you, so he will always get like right behind you eventually. So this is when the game would show you that the mother got into the car wreck, all of that stuff I explained earlier.
Catch!
Okay.
Oh, god dang. I didn't expect that, but
Yeah.
we'll just go ahead and do it then. Because he's too close.
Oh, nice trick.
Watching you do this is fascinating because it's so different from how I normally do it.
Well, I'm glad I can fascinate you.
Next, my brain's like, oh yeah, no, I get, I get that.
I had that recently watching a friend pick up a run that I've run before, where it's just like, that is not the choice I would make, but I exactly see why you're doing that. And honestly, there's certain ones where watching them, I've been like, that makes sense. I should probably start doing that for safety. That works for me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice trick. Oh, nice trick. You can't get away.
Okay, so now at this point, Linear's gonna pick up this key item and it's gonna run all the way back to that portal. Yeah, see the way that the optimal strategy for getting through there, which is also the most dangerous strategy because of course it is the second the cutscene finishes where he gets summoned, is you immediately use the invisibility band and you use that to get all the way down to the first statue.
Oh, nice trick.
And then ideally you would use the lavender water on around the third statue. I say ideally because half of the time Chopper doesn't play along.
He's also fast.
He's fast.
Very, very fast.
The next subordinates are faster. This is
Oh,
their twins.
no.
Each subordinate gets progressively faster. So Sledgehammer can't catch up to Alyssa. Like straight up cannot catch up to her. I think he's at the same speed as Alyssa. Corroder can catch up to you sometimes. I think he's either at Alyssa's speed or maybe just a notch above hers. Chopper will just be right on your butt pretty quickly, and then the Scissor Twins will be just inside you half the time. Like, you get real up close and personal with the Scissor Twins sometimes. Alright, now it's time for the game to troll you. I have lost runs to this section before, the running away.
Oh, really? I've died before this.
Yeah. That's what I mean by lost runs, because, there is no restarts and continues when you're doing a PB attempt. Because look at the super sturdy bridge we're going across here. Nothing's gonna happen to that, I'm sure.
Looks very safe.
Oh, I know which is the third red arrow you get now. I remember it now. Okay. So here's the special item we need to take out Chopper. It's the old Rooter arrow. Sadly, you can't shoot it at him.
It looks pretty fancy, though.
So now we can do, do you want me to do an explanation of how he's made? Because at this point, you kind of pretty much know it.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just
So-
concentrating.
No, you're good. That's what I'm here for. Explanations. I'll let you get through here. There you go. So the entities are made by ripping the heart out of a rooter on midnight on their 15th birthday. Guess how old Alyssa is? Specifically, if I remember correctly, it's you take somebody related to the rooter takes their heart and eats it on the midnight of their 15th birthday. So her grandfather's been missing it for a few years. I'm sure that's not related at all. So the rooters are both the cause of the entities being a thing and the people who fight against them.
Shoot.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You just did it a bit early.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for him to do his thing. I'll get him. Oh crap! He actually got...
So what you're supposed to do in that fight is you use a green arrow when he's mid-attack. If you hit, the only time that you can hit Chopper, at least during the first parts of the fight, is when he's mid-attack. Or by hitting his own axe back at him, like Linear just did. And if you use a green arrow in the beginning of the fight to hit him first, it forces him into a stage of the fight where he throws an axe at you to make it easier to tether him. But honestly, once you know the gimmick behind the Chopper fight, he's probably the easiest one after Sledgehammer.
I'm sitting here trying to not make an Ocarina of Time joke with the arrows and the hitting stuff back at the boss fight. And
Yeah. No, just go ahead and make it. I already made the Sailor Moon joke.
Here we go.
Sometimes you get unlucky and he has a little bit of HP left.
Take this.
There you go.
That was a very cool shot to end him on.
Yeah.
Struggled a little
he-
bit. It's like Miss Scarlet said, you're supposed to use the arrow, but we still got it. So
Yeah. Yeah. So there's Chopper, and now we get to my favorites. I low-key had a crush on Ralph when I was a kid. I'm not even gonna lie.
they're of like all things that I forgot about playing this game like 20 years ago. Like I never forgot about them. They're my favorite part.
When I was a little girl, I had a crush on Ralph, and I had a crush on Bates from Clock Tower Ghost Head. Or Struggle With It in English.
Alyssa, wait for me!
Though, to be completely fair, the voice actor of Bates from Clock Tower 2, The Struggle Within, the English version, is the same voice actor as Ghostface. From, yeah.
I love this music too.
Oh, I love it too. So, what we just mixed there is Discount Ron Weasley, aka I call him. He's straight up Discount Ron Weasley. Dennis, Alyssa's childhood friend, just got kidnapped by the next two subordinates. They are twins, so we have two enemies. Are they going to ever attack you at the same time? Absolutely not. You only ever get chased by one of them at a time, depending on which area you're in. Since they're twins, they have like a whole mirror thing going on. So like one half of the hospital is mirrored by the other half of the hospital. And essentially the entire hospital portion is just trying to get some keys so you can get to the actual final area and go rescue Discount Ron Weasley. But thankfully you don't actually start getting chased by the Scissor Twins until you get to the mirror.
It still gets me every time though, even though I know it's coming. I'm like
Yeah.
mashing the button.
Dun, dun, dun. It's because of the way Ralph runs at you, because he's got the scissors like pointed outward that way.
They think it's interesting that she's like crawling through these holes. Like that would be an
Yeah.
opportune time to get her, but they can't.
Yeah. It just goes to show you how much of an impact the Scissor Twins make compared to the other subordinates, that I can remember the actual names of the Scissor Twins, and I can't remember the actual people names of any of the other ones. Because they all have actual names that aren't Chopper, Corroder, and Sledgehammer. But the Scissor Twins are Scissor Man and Scissor Woman, but I always call them Ralph and Jemima, because that's their actual names. I do want to cosplay Jemima at one point, because her outfit's so cool.
It is really.
Okay, but also this is terrifying. I don't like the way they run at us.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like, why are you so close to the door? It's because you're getting the lavender water.
Just in case.
Yeah, because one of the things about the holy water and opening doors and puzzle areas is it's also based on proximity, so you can actually open that cabinet from all the way at the foot of the bed. Thanks for opening the door for us, Jemima.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
So LinearC is going to go down and get another key because we're trying to get 3 keys to get to the castle section. Now, as soon as Linear picks up this key, she's going to be able to immediately hit triangle to hit her through the wall. Because walls are only suggestions in a speedrun.
I mean, with this building, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, for some reason the holy water will just phase through the walls on multiple times when you use it. Or multiple areas. There's Ralph. He's cute. The whole point of that was unlocking the cabinet in the mirror world opens it in this world as well, so you can get the actual key item you needed.
Oh, I was gonna say I half expected him to be there. Ah! Alright.
He just chilling. So you
The
want to know
gentleman, he opened the door for you.
exactly? You want to know a little bit about the lore that's not ever like completely explained in the game? So the entity only usually attaches to one serial killer, right? Except we have 2 here. Do you know why that is?
I
No.
don't know for sure.
If I remember correctly, the entity, the evil spirit, is actually only attached to Ralph. So Jemima, while still technically being a subordinate, isn't like the main subordinate compared to her brother. And this is the reason why, during the boss fight, you cannot auto-target Jemima during her boss fight. That's the reason for the gimmick of her boss fight.
Okay, that really explains a lot then.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So anytime you pull up the arrow during the boss fights, Alyssa will automatically target the enemy. The one exception is Jemima's fight. You cannot auto-target Jemima.
God damn it.
Wow,
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god!
He's like all over me.
Yeah, you weren't
Ralph.
kidding when you said that they will get right up against you. That was...
I've never seen him do that before. I've never seen him get that up on you.
Go to door, go to door, go to door. Oh my goodness. That was
Yeah, he also hits like a
painful.
truck. My favorite swag strat to do there is I will ignore him, run right to the door, and I will hit the door with the holy water while he's right up on me, and it will hit both him and the door at the same time.
Okay, you must have to have good timing on that because I've had that happen before, and sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes
Yeah,
it does work.
it's RNG whether or not you get it, but it's definitely swag when you do.
Okay, I'm worried about this part. Hold on.
You have 6 lavender water, so you'll be fine.
Should I just go ahead and use it now? Probably.
Might as well.
Yeah, because otherwise she's gonna go straight into panic.
Yeah, you have 4 holy waters left. You'll be fine.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you don't hit him here?
I'm trying to.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise that won't trigger if you
Yeah.
let him get up there.
Yeah. So you need to keep Ralph on the stairs in order to make it so that evade point stays there. If he's already up there with you, it won't let you do that evade point. And that evade point is essentially you dodge around him and push him off the cliff. Because Alyssa's hardcore.
I can't believe we're so close to the end of the game. Yep. Like, I never imagined I'd be able to do this.
You got this. So, okay, this is what I thought. This is the red arrow, the third red arrow you get. Yeah. In the normal speedrun, this is the one you never pick up.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's too much of a time loss to go all the way around the stairs like that.
I gotcha.
But I definitely get getting it for safety reasons. Because it makes burrows a lot easier. So we're currently in the section of the castle that's Ralph's section. Funnily enough, despite Ralph technically being the main subordinate of the 2 twins, most of the section of the game is going to be in Jemima's section, which is this next half of the castle we're going to. So bye, Ralph. We're not going to see you till the end of the game now. For ages, I thought you could fall off of here. You can't.
I also thought of course I would do that. I used to think the ghost, that would be terrible.
Yeah, I used to thought like the ghost. And then for a while I was too scared to try taking my finger off of the crouch button or this, that, the other thing, or like just letting go of the directional button. I thought she would fall off. She doesn't.
Well, considering we have the plank and the other one in the cave or whatever, you would think like there has to be something diddly here too.
Now it's time for Jemima fun times. I think this is when you play it the normal speedrun way is the longest extended chase sequence, is this Jemima sequence. It's either this one or Chopper in the underground area. Oh, okay, you're just gonna shove her in the oven, okay.
Yeah. It just makes it a whole lot easier on my life.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's the safe way to do it, is shoving Jemima in the oven. Which gets rid of her for a little bit. The faster way to do it is to just deal with having her chasing you this entire section. The point of the section is you're trying to get 3 symbols. So this whole castle is the Barrows Castle. And I can't remember the names of the actual characters who lived here, but they were a previous generation of a Rooter family. You had Lord Barrows and you had his wife and daughter. And each of their names started with A, N, and D. Now, in the present time, we have Alyssa, Nancy, her mother, and Nancy's father, the other way to say Richard. A, N, and D. And because of that, it's supposed to be this whole, like, oh, the past is, occurring again, because the old Lord Barrows tried to turn himself into an entity by sacrificing his daughter. And then his daughter died in a carriage accident the night before it was supposed to happen, so he never got to do it. So now old Lord Barrows and lovely Grandpapa have decided to join spirits together and use Alyssa to become an entity. We don't want that to happen. Because, spoiler alert, Grandpa's a bad guy.
Slice and dice. No.
I almost feel sorry for Jemima there. You're just throwing holy water in her face all the time.
I'm actually happy for me because, like, 9 times out of 10 I'll miss her. But this time I actually got her.
Yeah, the real swag there is getting past her without using the holy water. I can't even do it. I've seen it done, though.
All of these are very well atmospherically done because you've said we can't fall off and all of that. I'm still terrified. I'm like, no, you're gonna fall off. There's a ghost there. Ugh.
I know, right?
I'll kill you. Yeah. No.
I don't think I really needed to do that, but
Slice and dice.
whatever.
No.
Now it's time for the rudest part of the game.
Oh, did I go the wrong way? I went
Oh,
the
you
wrong
did.
way, did Yeah, I did.
You went the wrong way.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go the door at the end of the table.
Yep. Don't know what I was thinking. I think because
And I
especially
wasn't-
we skipped the
And I
scenes
wasn't
too.
paying. Yeah, and I wasn't paying attention because I was eating my bread.
There we go.
In my defense,
Also, with all the fixed
bread.
camera angles, I feel like it's easy to get lost.
It can be until you've, played it enough times that you don't even need the map anymore. So you see all of these suspicious suits of armor with all of these axes? After this little cutscene bit and running around in this room here, they will all be activated. And they're instant kills. Every single one of them are instant kill. Which is one of the reasons why, for safety, you want to have a sigil stone. But if you're going for like world record or something, you would not even get the sigil stone and just go for it. Because it is possible to get through there completely based off of the timing and not have to worry about it. It's definitely nerve-wracking if you're on, say, world record pace or something. There is Discount Ron Weasley being tortured by the Scissor Twins.
Oh yeah, I didn't hit the projector. Alright. It's go time.
You got this. It'll be fine. So essentially, you're going to the Iron Maidens in order to get into the underground section and unlock a door in a specific way to get through it faster. And it would be this door here. If you don't unlock this door, that wall behind you, when you raise it, it's on a timer and you can't get through it in time.
I missed that. I know it's being more cautious, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are the axes I'm talking about. Each one of them is an instant kill if you get hit.
God, I thought I had
I thought you had a
sigils.
sigil. I thought you had another sigil stone.
I thought I did too. I thought, when did I use the other one?
Wait, oh no, I know what happened. When you, I thought it sounded weird. When you got hit by Chopper and it used that sigil stone, I thought I heard two things break, so I think it hit you and then the axe hit you again somehow. I think it
Are
bugged
you
out.
serious?
Because it did sound a little
Wow.
bit weird, like if something broke twice. So it possibly used both of the sigil stones. Thankfully, it only takes you back here.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this game has sometimes a generous continue system, sometimes a very mean one. And
Yeah.
this one's not that mean.
Oh, that really makes me so mad at Chopper right now, because usually I don't have to even worry about this part.
Yeah. So the thing about the timing on the Iron Maidens is if you go immediately, you'll be fine. But if you hesitate, you miss the timing. So like right there, if you'd run immediately, you would have been able to get through there without getting hit. But it's all based off of timing and practice. And it's especially rude because you have to go through this area twice.
Or more if you don't get past this.
Yeah. Or more if you forget to unlock the door. So this is the section here. I think you have like 20 seconds, not including opening the door, to get through there. I can't remember what the timer is. Yes, it drops down ahead of you, and then this is the boss arena. However, we're not actually going to be doing the boss fight yet, because shenanigans occur and Alyssa gets thrown down a pit. And then you just have to circle back around up there. And do the Iron Maiden puzzle again. This is where Alyssa goes, she finds her old drawings and be like, oh, I love my grandpa. My grandpa's great. I want to be with my grandpa forever. About that. And this is the study behind the study behind the study that I was talking about earlier.
Alright. We should be able to just go back out, right?
Yeah, you just go straight down from here, because it's the Iron Maiden at the bottom.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my heart.
Once you've run the game enough times, you stop. It stops being that butt clenchy, but then once you get like you're on a PB attempt or something, then it gets butt clenchy again. I think you.
I didn't make it in time.
Yeah, you missed it.
Great. So it's up this one, right? And then...
Yeah, it's that one. And then it's straight down. So that's what I mean by the timing is very, very precise on getting through there. You have to go and you have to go fast.
Oh my goodness.
I saw that.
I know you saw it. I know you saw that.
Missed it by frames.
Please, Alyssa. Please go through. Please go through. Please go through. Please go through.
There you go.
Oh.
Now we're going to the boss fight. So this is two boss fights back to back. One's against Jemima, one's against Ralph, or Scissor Woman and Scissor Man. As I mentioned earlier, you cannot auto-target Jemima. However, she has the lowest HP in the game. The way that you usually get past her is you can kill her with two green special arrows. This is the point in the game where we actually start using the special arrows.
If I mess up, I'm just gonna let her kill me, but hopefully we won't mess up.
Thankfully, the continues are very generous. They just start you at the beginning of the boss fight.
I'll kill you.
There you go. Cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she
Thank
always
you.
starts in the same spot, and she always goes to the same spot after you hit her.
So are you
So
saying
it
to
can be-
use, sorry, a green arrow on this one?
I wouldn't because you didn't pick up the one earlier. I
Oh, yeah.
mentioned, a
Okay,
corroder.
then I'm just
Yeah.
going to do it the normal way then.
Yeah, so I would
Okay.
just do it the normal way. The faster way to do it is to use a green arrow on Ralph here, because anytime you use a charge shot on Ralph, and the green arrows are a charge shot, in terms of power, they don't actually tether. Ralph goes into a sort of cooldown injury animation for a couple seconds. But since Linear didn't get that extra green arrow earlier, she doesn't have the enough green arrows to risk it, because you need all of the rest of these special arrows for the final fight. There you go. And that's what I mean right there, his little, like, panting animation.
Oh, fudge.
It happens.
Oh. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
I
dude.
usually just tank those, because they don't do that much damage. Can't it go through the axe? Oh, I guess I can. Yeah, I got one for you too, Ralph. Called an arrow to the face. There you go. So there's two ways to tether the enemy. There's one is just to get a 7 or so tethers on them, 7 or 8 tethers on them, just in any direction. The faster way to do it in the final fight is to actually use the angles and get one tether, 180 from another tether, and then a third tether, because that stops him from moving faster. But it's just not as helpful during the earlier boss fights.
Oh, crap. Come on, don't you have a present for me?
No.
Oh, fudge. My finger slipped on the controller.
It's okay. If you have a charge shot, there he goes. If you have a charge shot and he's close to you, you'll stun him instead of taking damage. There you go.
Yeah, I figure you'll good hit. Oh my goodness.
I love his whining there. He's like,
I do too.
he's like whinging on the ground.
I love it when Dennis comes back, y'all missed that, and he makes fun of him too.
Yeah. It's like, you're one to talk, discount, obviously. Alright, now this is just the run to the final boss. There's no enemies, there's no instant kills, it's just straight up run to the final boss.
It's a spiral staircase with a fixed camera. That's an enemy to me.
Yeah, it is.
It's not that bad.
I get stuck, but I'm not very good.
I was gonna say it's probably not that bad if you're good with fixed cameras. I am terrible with fixed cameras.
That is
so
fair. I was
watching Linear run through this, I'm like,
Yeah.
I
was
couldn't see
raised
them.
with old PS1 fixed camera horror games, so tank controls, fixed camera, absolutely nothing to me. But what can get annoying is like in this game where it's fixed camera plus 3D control scheme.
Honestly, I'm amazed at the skill because I could not
Yeah, because
speedrun this anyway.
that was definitely a thing during the PS2 era when they were still figuring things out. Anytime you have 3D control scheme plus fixed camera angles, you're going to have a lot of hard times going through camera transitions.
Mhm.
But if you have tank controls plus fixed camera angles, it's fine. Because the character always goes forward when you press up.
How did I
You
get
got stuck on the wall.
Oh, because the controls are all wonky. Okay.
Beep, beep, beep. Backing up. Beep, beep. It looks like every time you back up, then you back up when she's crouched down. It looks like you're backing up a truck. That is you picked up the red arrow, right?
Yeah, I did. No.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, we're now going up the clock tower that erupted out of the remains of our house earlier in the game. Because it's clock tower, so you have to have a clock tower. Even though not every clock tower game has a clock tower. Clock Tower 2 doesn't, for some reason.
I'm so glad she's in shape because I would have been so exhausted going up those stairs, the ladder, and everything.
Especially because
That's why I couldn't be a horror game protagonist. I'm too lazy.
If I was in a horror movie or a horror game, I would either be the first to die or the last to die, or I would be the final girl. I would be the first to die if it's one of those, oh, edgy, anyone can die things because I'm too genre savvy to survive those. So I know what I'm doing too much. But on the other ones, I would survive because I'm genre savvy enough to know what I'm doing in a horror situation. Alright, here's the final fight. This is against Lord Barrows, the amalgamation of our grandfather and the old Lord Barrows.
I can't skip this either.
You can't skip it?
No. I don't know why I can't skip it.
Oh, I know why. I saw it earlier. You didn't have the theater option in your main menu. You didn't have that. And you didn't have that because you didn't have a completed save. You can only skip cutscenes that have been seen before.
But I've done it before, like twice. It's
Yes,
weird.
But you don't have a cleared save.
I do have
So
a
the
clear save.
game has no record of you having seen this cutscene before.
But there's 2 clear saves on there.
Then why don't you have the theater option?
It's weird. Only if I click on that clear save and then like start a new game and then exit out of it, it'll come up. Otherwise, it doesn't come up.
The reason that the game does that is because it loads. If I remember correctly, it loads a specific save when you start the PlayStation. Because when I start Clock Tower 3, it loads theater every time. It's always there from the beginning. So if you don't have a recent cleared save that has this cutscene scene, it won't let you skip it.
Which is weird because we just did this. I did this in a stream yesterday and we cleared it and we watched it. So
Yeah.
Ophelia was
So-
there.
The way,
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
the way to make sure that you can skip the scene is before you start the game, make sure theater is an option on the main menu, and that that theater option on the main menu is based off of a completely cleared save file, not based off of the save from right before the fight.
Got it. Okay.
She betrayed me more than once. She married that weak.
Then I'll make sure of that. So this is a bonus, y'all. You get like a bonus.
You get the lore.
Yeah. So this is Grandpa being all creepy.
She's there. There was no other way, Alyssa.
You know what makes him even creepier?
You're not my grandfather. I don't know who you are anymore.
What?
He was obsessed. He's obsessed with Alyssa, right? He wants to become one with Alyssa and be immortal and stuff. If you read the actual writings in the game, it shows that he had the exact same attitude towards his own daughter when she was a teenager. So he was obsessed with his own daughter when he was a teenager, and then stopped being obsessed when she became an adult.
Then the ritual of
Like, this is a bad man. Also, you get to see Alyssa go into her magical schoolgirl transformation.
Time to lie down on the altar and prepare to surrender your heart to me.
Discount
Nice
Ron
little
Weasley to the rescue.
Dennis! Dennis!
Give up, Alyssa. No one can help you now. Not even your dear mother.
This is what I mean by her being Schrodinger's mom. Like, is she alive? Is she dead? Because she appears fully formed in the ending cutscene.
All hail entities of the earth. Burroughs and I will now carry out the ritual to become a new entity. Ghosts haunting the human realm. Subordinates dwelling in the shadows. Gather here to witness the glorious ritual of engagement.
I love how he turns into a Poke Man for some reason.
The time has come at last, my dearest Alyssa. Merge into one entity with me, so that we can be together forever.
He looks so creepy saying that. I mean, he's
Creepy
creepy all
grandpa's
around,
creepy.
but yeah.
So the entire game, after each one of like most of the boss fights, you're collecting these little like charms of this little neck of your mother's necklace, and that was the last one. So Discount Ron Weasley got it from the crushed remains of the mom. Bye, Discount Ron Weasley.
All right.
Now we've gone through our full transformation. You got this.
No, I'm too relaxed now watching that cool movie. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I'm gonna try.
You got this.
So Barrows has a full 3 health bars, ish.
Oh shoot, that was me.
It's fine.
I did it too soon.
So unlike the other boss fights in this game, Barrows can tether you. So you need to tether him, but he can also tether you. If he gets 3 tethers in on you, it's an instant game over. There you go. So you need to do a tethered ultimate attack on him 3 times, essentially, to end the fight, plus or minus an arrow or 2. But yeah, if he tethers you 3 times, game over. Hopefully, it doesn't happen.
There's no escape.
Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong.
There's no escape.
There you go. I was about to say, it's like, remember what I mentioned about the audio cues?
Oh,
It happens. Half the time he hits me.
yeah.
There's no escape.
Come on.
There's 0-2.
There's no escape. Ready to give up now? There's no escape.
Hit him with the green.
Oh god,
Too late.
I messed up.
It's fine. You'll just have to take him out normally for the last one.
Yeah, I know.
How dare you? There's no escape.
But you know what?
Ready to give up.
You
I
got
feel
two
like
of the three.
There's no escape.
I feel like I made a lot of progress. So
Especially, I think you said you've only been running this for 3 weeks. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Remember what I mentioned about waiting for his audio cue before using an arrow?
oh yeah. But I didn't know if it even matters at this point because I don't really.
It still does because you're not going to be able to hardly do any damage to him with uncharged arrows.
Ready to give up now.
And you can still technically get him tethered at this point. It's just harder.
Oops. Oh, that's me.
There's no escape. How dare you? There's no escape.
I love how when he goes, "Oh, how dare
Oh,
you!"
there you.
So something to know about this guy is, of all of the boss fights, the only two that you only have to charge up to level 5 on the charge arrow is Sledgehammer and Barrows. So you don't have to completely charge your arrow for Lord Barrows to get him tethered.
Ready to give up now.
And one downside from being too far from him in this fight is he can get he can get an arrow off before you can charge your arrow enough. That's another thing to remember about him.
There's no escape. Ready to give
Nope. I'll be fine.
There's no escape. Ready to give up now. There's no escape.
Shoot. Maybe not so much.
At least the first one went away.
Stop it! Oh my
Hey,
goodness!
at least it's one tether, not two.
Yeah. He's gonna pick me up though, I think. Ah!
No, that second one didn't hit you.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
you have
surprised.
invincibility. You have invincibility frames once you stand up.
Ready to give up now. There's no escape.
Oh, I wasted that.
You do have enough time to charge an arrow after the no escape, as long as you get out of the red quickly enough.
There's no escape. Ready to give up now. There's no escape.
I just don't trust myself when he does know there's no escape.
Yeah, but even if he starts charging an arrow, you can stop him with a half-charged shot.
There's no escape.
There you go. Yes, when he does that little charge thing, he's getting rid of the tether on him, but if you can interrupt it with a half-charged arrow.
How dare you? There's no escape.
too late.
Yeah. When he does that, if you think it's going to be too late, just fully charge the arrow, let him get rid of the tether, and then tether him immediately.
There's no escape.
There you go.
Oh, time.
He's
I guess.
beautiful.
Well, no, not time. I don't know why I said time. Sorry. We got one more part left.
Yeah, Alyssa has now had her weapon batted away from her. She has no way to defend herself. And the game gives one last moment for you to get tethered and murdered.
So which part would that count as time in, or is it the next part? I wasn't sure about that.
Time starts when you hit new game. This is the way it's timed for the speedrun. Time starts at new game, not at character control.
Okay.
And then time ends at last input when you're going to get the last bit of the charm from Mom's Ruins.
Okay. Well, I made a mistake then. Sorry.
That's fine.
I always forget about this next part.
Yeah.
You belong to me forever.
Creepy grandpa's creepy. Okay, now all you have to do is run past him to the ruins of where the mom is on the other side of the arena.
There's no escape. Today is Alyssa's 10th birthday. Reader powers are visible any time now.
Okay, so I guess that part would count.
That's time. That's time. Yeah. As soon as you hit that glowy bit and it slows down, that's time.
All right, so I'll let this last little bit play out. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Give up, grandfather. I won't allow the ritual to happen.
Never.
I do love these mocap actors. Like,
They're so
very
great.
good.
They're so great. The best scene is still meeting Dennis, like for the mocapping. Also, if you go into the lore and read some of the notes in the game, this is exactly how Lord Burroughs died in the past. Was falling down the clock tower. See, this is what I mean. She's Schrodinger's mom. Is she alive or dead? She's alive, then she's dead. She's alive, then she's dead. Then she's alive, then she's dead. Now she's alive again. And then the end implies that she's still dead. It's like, which is it? And of course, Alyssa survives this.
I still haven't figured out how, but
I think the implication is that her and Dennis got, because this is like the like afterlife other pocket dimension sort of world. I think the implication is that her and Dennis just got yeeted to the real world.
that was all bright and sunny. And
Yeah,
everybody's happy.
in just this random field of clovers. Yeah, specifically clovers because it's the clover pendant. Dennis didn't die from his fall down the massive clock tower that killed the grandpa Lord Hybrid.
He has not
there.
one scratch. He's perfectly fine.
Well, like, to be fair, I think Dennis probably has more trauma from this whole event than Alyssa, honestly. Because, like, he got tortured by the Scissor Twins for, like, 20 minutes. And the game just glosses over that fact.
Alright, everyone, that was Clock Tower 3. I don't know if we want to look at some of the scenes from the theater.
What
Scarlett,
time?
do you think?
How much? What was the time?
You are at 1:49:24 for your time, so we might have a little bit of time for some cutscenes.
If everybody's okay with that, before we sign off, we can take a look at a couple of the cutscenes that we talked about.
Yeah, we can definitely watch a couple cutscenes.
All right. Oh well, I forgot because there's just like the first play around we have to go through. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We have to go through these. Yeah, I forgot. I can't skip that.
Make sure you save the clear after this, and that should fix your issue.
But I'll show you what I mean. But I have like 3 save clears. I don't know why it does this.
Mm-hmm. My thought is it memcard in the emulator? Do you have it loaded into memcard 1 or memcard 2?
Memcard 2.
I think part of it is because it scans memcard 1.
Okay. Actually, that makes sense when I think about it. Probably why.
So it's not a problem when you're playing it from real hardware, and I can see it possibly being a problem from playing it on emulator unless you have the save on memcard 1. So try saving it to your memcard 1 and see if that fixes it. Because it auto loads the save, the base save when you save the game or when you start the game. And if it doesn't find that autosave on memcard 1, if it doesn't find that autosave on memcard 1, it probably isn't loading your clear data.
Makes sense.
Which is why theater wouldn't pop up when you first load the game.
Makes sense. Hopefully we don't have too much longer. I don't think it's much longer after this. But I am super excited because y'all, I didn't think I could do that. So I'm like still like dazed right now.
I was actually going to ask Linear, what is your PB on this?
I would say probably this, like the 149.
Well, you have a skill at getting PBs when you are presenting.
Well, I have to thank Miss Scarlett because she gave me some pointers and advice that really helped me. Thank you so much, Miss Scarlett, for helping me with this. That really did help, especially with the final boss, because we would have still probably been fighting him right now, but we got 2 really good hits off of him. And I'm confident enough next time I can do it much faster.
Yeah, if you can manage the special arrow strat for all 3 ultimates on him, you can take out Barrows in about a minute flat, just under a minute. Ish.
You're definitely right. Like having like confidence in this game, it's like everything. It really saves you a lot of time, and you're very helpful with that.
The biggest thing to remember about them is just don't be afraid of them. They can't hit you if you hit them first.
Just like a real ghost.
I am also like, I am just so proud of myself because that plank of doom, I made it through it. I wasn't expecting the puzzle at the end to get me because I usually have my sigil stone, but you know what? After a good try, I was fine. So I'm very proud of myself for that too. So this was a really good run. I'm really happy with this one.
Yeah, the biggest time saves when you're doing a run usually is the routing on that instant kill area with the axes and the boss fights.
Yep.
Oh, and the chopper mausoleum chase. So on my I use a Memcard Pro 2 memory card, so I have a memory card that I can put saves onto and off of much easier than a regular PS2 memory card. And that memory card has saves for right before every single boss fight and 1 save for that mausoleum chase for practice.
Oh, totally makes sense. I know we've taken out time with this. Miss Scarlett, what is your recommendation of all scenes if we only just showed off like one for the sake of time?
Meeting Dennis and then blowing up the house.
Okay.
Those are my two favorite ones to show off to people, to show people how ridiculous the the mocap is.
Sounds like a plan.
That and the house blowing up scene is just great.
Yeah, there's
With
so
her
many great
giggling.
scenes. Yeah. If y'all have time after this, if you want to learn more about the game, you can check out all the scenes because you miss a lot by not seeing the scenes, but
Yeah,
they're
also
really
in
awesome.
classic
Yeah.
Clock Tower fashion, it gives you a points total at the end of the game.
I don't know what they actually do.
It's based off of how many continues you have, how many times you saved, how much you healed with lavender waters, and how many items you picked up and how many ghosts you helped. Is this on memory cards? Okay, this is on slot 1.
This is one.
Okay. Yeah, so now theoretically, when you load it, it shouldn't load you. It should load that clear data, and you won't have to, and you'll be able to skip those cutscenes now. And if not, just make sure you load the clear save before you start running.
Yeah, I told myself to do that yesterday, and I totally forgot that today.
Yeah,
because otherwise it won't come up.
As long as the theater option shows up when you load the game, you should be able to skip every cutscene.
All right, we're gonna go down to theater because it has this nifty theater option. All right, and it's not. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Through the window.
Yeah. So if you want, you can go find this cutscene's actual mocap online. It's on YouTube. That shows the actual actors in their whole mocap suit.
Oh, I love stuff like that. I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Oh, it's great. You can actually find some for Haunting Ground as well that has the mocap suit on the dog. And it's so cute because they actually mocapped the dog for Haunting Ground by putting a mocap suit on an actual German Shepherd. But yes. Can you see why I call him Discount Ron Weasley now?
Oh, 100%.
thought I was a long time no see, Alyssa. I haven't seen you since we were in primary school together. It must be 3 years?
What do you think you're doing entering a lady's residence through a window?
I have to give you something.
And if you've ever been in theater, you recognize this overacting.
Key to my grandmother's room. Mother always has this key with her. What are you doing with it? You saw her. When and where?
Calm down, calm down. It was yesterday morning and your mother drove by in her car. Oh, and she said you might come.
This is quite the introduction scene.
She wasn't back in time.
She must have known I'd disobey her.
It's also the only time in the game you would be able to see Alyssa's bedroom if you're speedrunning. Because you never go in there.
Since I last saw you.
I'm going to go and check my grandfather's room.
Hey!
The hip thrust is like, why? Also remembering that this is directed by the dude who directed Battle Royale.
Come on. That was then and this is now. Wait a minute, would you?
So silly. Okay.
So yes, I absolutely love the cutscenes in this game because of how overacted the mocap is, and I love it. As somebody who used to be a theater major.
And if we have just a little bit more time, we can just do one more scene, I hope.
Oh yeah, we can show off that that exploding clock tower.
It would be this one here with the clock tower in it. So this cutscene happens right after the Corroder boss fight. So about little less than halfway through the game when you're speedrunning. That's the Dark Gentleman, is the grandfather in disguise. He pops up during various points of the game before you realize it's the grandfather. Who needs a house? Are you alright?
Yeah, I just feel like I got a frog in my throat.
Also, the music is just great for this cutscene specifically. And she just starts giggling and playing around on the clock face for some reason. Like, why?
She's all
Alyssa?
into it. Yeah. There's that look on her face, too.
Like, Alyssa, why? and you recognize that as being the arena for the final boss fight. So you see it for the first time halfway through the game.
Alicia, this is no longer your home. This is the dark realm where I rule. In 2 hours, the clock will strike midnight, and your 15th birthday will arrive.
Okay, so she is 14, technically.
When that happens, you and I will become one, and together we will obtain eternal life.
My 15th birthday?
Are you looking forward to it? So am I, my dear. So am I. I can't wait. Soon we two will be united forever. Alyssa, you might have defeated two of our
flailing.
number. One was killed by a subordinate long ago.
No! You're lying! She can't!
If you don't believe me, you can go to hell and see for yourself.
And then this goes into the chopper section of the game.
Yep. So those were like two really awesome scenes that I agree with Miss Scarlett. Those are like really excellent scenes to show off, and of course you can find the rest of them online as well. I would highly recommend it if you're interested in see more about the game, the story, or heck, even interested in playing it.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, compared to a lot of horror games from this era, Clock Tower 3 is not that expensive to get a disc version of. Like, it's no Kuon or Rule of Rose or Haunting Ground to get a physical edition. It's only like $70, I think. Yeah, it's only about $60, $60 to $80 to get a complete version of Clock Tower 3, which is, for horror games of this era, is actually really cheap on the retro market.
And it's a really fun game. I enjoyed it a lot, like back when I was in high school, and I'm glad I picked it up again. You can definitely, there's lots of guides out there, lots of videos and things like that. If you're interested in getting into it, like I said, I just started getting into it about a month ago now, but I absolutely love playing this game a lot. So anyways, thank you so much for watching my run, and thank you so much, Miss Scarlett, for helping me and being there for the commentary and everything. And thank you so much again, as always. It's always a pleasure, Clockwork Ophelia. Thank you for hosting this showcase. I appreciate it so much.
I will literally always be here every time you put on a showcase, Linear. For everybody else who has not seen you before, where could we find you if we wanted to watch more of you?
Yeah, so I stream on Twitch sometimes. I do a lot of like charity marathons and stuff, but I do stream sometimes, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LinearC, or on Twitter /X LinearC_Twitch, or Blue Sky is just LinearC. You can pretty much find me anywhere with LinearC or LinearCanon17, which is my Discord handle. But yeah, I hope to make more content, and I hope to do more of these showcases. So thanks again for having me.
And Miss Scarlett Tanager, where could we find you?
I am over at twitch.tv/Miss Scarlett Tanager. That is Scarlett with one T, MISSSCARLETTANAGER. I am mostly well known for speedrunning horror games, though I do occasionally speedrun the odd RPG, even though they are very long speedruns. Though probably the thing I'm most infamously known for is having a dedicated rabbit cam, because I have 2 bunnies and 2 chinchillas that are very cute, and they have their own webcam on my stream. I don't get to stream very much at the moment because I'm currently editing my fantasy novel. Fingers crossed I can find an agent for it next year. But yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm hopefully going to be streaming more often on weekends starting after November, but it just depends on how my schedule turns out.
And do we have any other shout-outs y'all would like to give?
Shout out to my bunnies for not doing anything untoward during this run. Because half the time I'm having to stop them from like chewing holes in things.
None other for me except just big shout out to just the entire community, the gaming community, speedrunning community. It's being a part of showcases and events like this that motivate me to push my hardest to learn more of these speedruns. And so I hope I can learn more and just do more events and things like this. So thank you again.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for coming in, for showcasing that. That was a fantastic run. Now, everyone, we are going to take a quick little break, but we'll be back shortly with a couple extra announcements before we send y'all off on a raid. See you soon. Break. I hope y'all had as good a time with that Clock Tower 3 run as I did. I was glued to that screen the entire time. Now, I just want to let you know, next time on Attract Mode, we have Professor Bunnius Bunrina, who is back once again with the Blackboard of Doom, and this time we are going to be talking about RPG Maker horror games. So we'll be doing a show called Anyone Can Cook, an unhinged rant made with RPG Maker VX Ace, and that is going to be happening on Thursday night. Lady Arcaders is also hosting our very first game development jam, Lag Jam, running from Thursday, November 14th to Sunday, November 17th. We are going to be broadcasting the team's progress every night at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on our Twitch channel. If you'd like more information, type !Lag Jam in chat. Also, just letting you know, submissions for Attract Mode, what you just watched, showcases are always open, and we would love to have you on showing any game that you love. Send us your showcase ideas at ladyarcaders.com/start. We are currently scheduling for late November and into December. Now, we are going to be sending y'all off on a raid. We're going to go see LinearC, who is playing Coffee Caravan. So thank y'all so much for watching, and have a great night. Have a great time zone, and don't forget, warning, incoming game. Warning, incoming game.